School violence is back in the spotlight in Alexandra, north of Johannesburg. A grade 8 pupil at Pholosho Secondary School allegedly stabbed and killed a fellow learner earlier this week. It's understood they had a fight earlier on, and later the perpetrator then stabbed the victim with a sharp object. The 15-year-old perpetrator has since been charged with murder and remanded in the custody of a youth center. Let's talk more about the violence that's going on in our schools involving children. I'm joined now by Dr. Shaheda Omar from the Teddy Bear Foundation. Dr. Omar, good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday View on eNCA. Tragically, we have to be talking yet again about another school killing and involving pupils. I mean, I always wonder when this happens and we talk about it, what are the solutions? But before we speak about what can we possibly do, I mean, our society recently has exhibited a lot of violence. Is that being reflected in what's going on in our schools?
Well, I think children mirror what is going on in society. We mustn't forget, where do they learn their behavior from? I mean, children learn by what they live, what they're exposed to. They reenact what they see around them because it's normalized, it's accepted, and people engage in these kinds of violations. We saw the looting, the brutalizations recently, a very recent spate across our country in Gauteng and KZN. And certainly this impacts on children's behaviors. They start identifying with aggressors, and we mustn't exclude the potential risks that they are also faced with, that children don't actually have facilities.
Hi. Dr. Omar, are you there?
Hello. Yes, Dr. I'm here. Omar? What's going on?
No, you are there.
Yes.
We can hear you. We can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear, and we can see you. So you are saying the children mimic the behavior they see around them in society. And the other day, my colleague Lindo Guhlekulu was speaking to the mother of the pupil who's now dead, and she was saying he was such a good boy. Then you are hearing reports from other people in the school saying that there's gangs involved. There's all kinds of allegations involved. So currently, as a mirror, we as a society are reflecting violence back to our children.
Indeed, violence begets violence, but I think this is a more complex problem, and it requires systemic interventions. Just look at the school, the context, the environment, and look at the opportunities. If we look at equality and equity, what equitable opportunities are provided to children in this context? We know that the marginalized communities do not have all the resources or access to resources like a school in Sandton or Northcliffe or Parktown. I think we need to be realistic that these children do not have recreational facilities or outlets. Sports and recreation is something that is critical and essential in children's lives. How do they actually release aggression, anger? And I think we need to be aware of the fact that it's not just the responsibility of education here to ensure the safety and protection of children, but also other government departments, other stakeholders and role players need to come into force to ensure that children get other opportunities where we do not find children releasing their aggression in such a violent form.
Okay, we don't have a lot of time left as we're heading towards 2 o'clock to bring the latest headlines. But the role of parents, you've mentioned a number of role players. Homes are also currently under a lot of stress, especially low-income homes, as we know currently. So what's the role? What can parents try and do to assist?
Well, I think you raised something important, co-responsibility, that parents certainly have to engage in dialogues with their children, speaking to them about safe and unsafe behaviors, actions having consequences, but also about restraining impulses, that they need to stop and think before they act, because their actions would have lifelong implications and certainly would impact on their future. We look at this young boy who was the violator, the initiated it's going to affect him lifelong, as well as the victims and everybody else out there. So I think these are engagements that parents need to be dialoguing with their children ongoing, consistently, and also getting access and support from educators, social services, and other bodies.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shaheda Omar from the Teddy Bear Foundation, with some insights on the ongoing violence among children, particularly in our schools. Now,